French would say, l'argent n'aime pas le bruit. To wit, money does not like noise. Sika mpe dede.
Supreme Court adia omoyema Kevin Taylor no. Oheba miti sekusie.
Uti disade.
Mi bisao miti esekusie.
Debbie.
Kevin Taylor se miti sekusie. Ama sesia me mago school. Just say papa ti sekusie. Adia Kevin Taylor adia me no. What you say? It is a Supreme Court for ultimate jai papa. Supreme Court adia omoyema Kevin Taylor no. Oheba miti sekusie.
Uti disade.
Mi bisao miti esekusie.
Debbie.
Kevin Taylor se miti sekusie. Ama sesia me mago school. Just say papa ti sekusie. Adia Kevin Taylor adia me no.
Kevin Taylor so dey assemble bawo. Ya asemo. Papa yo tu pa Kevin Taylor se ni titi sekusie. Ba wo hwesa wo hwe papa ti so gin utim say akwa ni ti de esekusie ti. Because papa it make a lot of arguments in our society or Ghana. Utim hu se sebe enyo obi ani titi sekusie pa. Sebe nyansani bi ani obi okisa argument no. Enti minim how Kevin Taylor ti hwe papa gin say akwa yi ase ni titi sekusie ampa de kwaje papa ti sekusie na o se ade e ha ne se enne ne mako school a say hey akwa ne papa ti sekusie no papa ti na sekusie no Kevin Taylor ade ne so papa say Poliando krachi o mayesere kama na wa sheda ko dina tem se ne ti eti sekusie o ma enne papa yi manam ha na yesere mo. Anyway, we say for the debate with Munufi, this is how I'm going to do my live stream today. Good evening, Najwa Ramos Muksin. Seminya Udini ya also about the debate with Munufi. And this is how I'm going to do the show. As I do almost every day. The Bible presenting a lot of facts and a lot of data at the amount. Now if you on second we are your home adjuma because there be a send a mechanic Bible again adjuma. And then the topic for discussion is we have a thumbnail that say after every elections. So I'm going to discuss with you after every elections things that seem to be happening in our society. A friend of Ghana, yeah, my Ghana. It seems after every election, biano. So we Nova and Tokwa is your tribal war. It be your Nova. And say better bay tribal war. Etisi Nova. Emma Sebi. It be more here monka. Now no man who's a atiesi kumase. Nipo 2 or so. If my memory serves me right, ye gani or more down. And no amete say asia TS school mu. I'm a school near Kola ho yakwa kokuno. We need to discuss all these kind of things as a society, as an politics and so. And ye bedi chama Wontumi hon komo. Attorney General say be prosecute chama Wontumi. Nti be chama Wontumi tampa o ye Ghana ni. But after every election, a dinge pa na koso a Emma tribal war started. And says our tribal war starting who see at the end now otumfo e costing anka otumfo betimi a otumfo nkopɛ no ntisi ensem no. But me ba be kyerɛ say otumfo might be the wrong person for that job. And tokwa na starting wo siri mo kakra no. Ya konkoma na number ward after every election na ba. Ya na equality after every election e dey pure ya na ti. Yakwa bedru say ene His Excellency John Dramani Mama so be try so the second term the same thing is happening. In the DNA course on every election after every election e didn't talk about northern region. That is something we're going to discuss today. Samuel appears what kind of danger is Ghana facing after Attorney General Prosecutor Wontumi? Can you please come clear? Yes, that is what I'm actually doing. Tribal war ebetime destabilize Ghana. Inti Samuel appear. Listen to me here very carefully. Tribal war ebetime destabilize Ghana. Because tribal war na ɛkɔɔ so ɛwɔ northern region asɛ ɛbɛto aba no akɔ ama ɛne nipa te Kumasi koraa yɛtumi kɔbɔ ne tuo kuno but surprisingly nobody seems to be addressing those kind of facts. Imagine, let me stress on this point. Information a yɛnya wɔ Kumasi no sɛ nanana yɛbɔ ne tuo kuno no nipa na yɛbɛbɔ nanana ne tuo na yɛte moto so nipa 2 according to them nipa 2 te moto so then they gun the man down but bullet no show say nipa na de AK-47 ɛna to aba no 2 papa na ɔmoche sɛ okɔdidi ya ɔno nso ɔbɛforo ne pick up ɛbɔ ne tuo no information about it say nipa 2 ɛna ɛbɔ ne tuo bullets no showcase say the same AK-47 ɛna de to aba men can say the same gun but it means AK-47 ɛna to sa tuo no me pacho Ghana and I we say well me tell me who AK-47 them who TV so but I have done a lot of research about AK-47 answer obintina mototo intimi hold AK-47 and shoot you know the person is professionally trained so when you train person even pistol ujina ho eto look at how it shakes you and then let alone uti mototo motorbike to na ultimate shoot pistol we are professionally trained to handle pistols. It's answer no obintimi nko to AK-47. The parenting mototo no. It means the person a professionally trained person. All these kind of things happen after every election. There are some things we over here when ya edin to kwabet mesi Ghana but before we realize no na agensem. Pacho ma me fa nko Ashanti region. Nansa ye na otumfo is expanding eba beye abono ene Ashantis almost got to a war. What can say na otumfo e konkransa on his way back to Kumasi no efa tachiman ema entokwa ba homa ye toto abono na sefo ema nipa te basem ewuye ebi praye ebeye entokwa ananka very likely say nke ya tribal war between Abonofo and Asantefo. We live in that kind of society. Says you are very careful after every election. And then Sembeba Mokai says, "Chima for na Asantefo semino. Wontumi mu the political campaign say because John Mama and a tie Abonofo echi, and then he is against Ashantis." So prior to the election, if you monitored Wontumi very well, they were making all those kind of things. All those kind of allegations. Emma sebe me yeso say Ashanti region obi to aba edema Mahmoud Bawumia based on some Wontumi make channel. These are all they were fueling tribal war, tribal politics. See, Ghana na ye who say a very peaceful country no. Yeah, the tribal war ebe say Ghana. Na me nema who say these kind of things happen after every election. So we need to address this as people. But who said Dr. Vladimir Mpidal? So Abeka say the war na ekoso northern region, a tribal war na ekoso on a politicians in the century. Mr. What is say Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Abeka sa fa sanse buyon. Enso say ni kurum na ekontokwa no. The kurum for na ekontokwa man bedu Ashanti region. And if they were able to cross to come to Ashanti region to gun down people, don't be surprised say you be cross akoko foridua. Na cross akobi esunwane. The same tribe and album was na escalate na ekọ boom na abagensem. So as a people, see a person Ghana na we need to check the way we conduct elections in the country no. And then some of the politicians say they were saying very very reckless statements concerning Abonofo and Asantefo. And then we stood there and we watched him inciting tribe against tribe. Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, religious tolerance no onjini. Me yakramuni nti na to abama me. Monto abama me na me first kramuni me president. And I will lose you kwa na ebi mo say am ye kramuni nti na to abama me. How politicians alter some words or the choice of words some of them use no. Ipachom o maye hwe ni ye. Priscilla, I'm doing very very well. I'm very okay. I just say why I want to Kevitela in so Poliando sini Kevitela sini titi kusiti ti nene mako sukre yesere no. He seems to be a comedian, but sometimes we need to take him serious as well. Intimate ye Ghana niya. Say Ghana be a scary place. Say imagine to be a DD we no better na bontia ba jam frama. Then somebody shoot him, killed him. And then we trace down Tokwano and as a killing to something happening in the northern region. I'm in the school for quality say me you know say me nsa ye komo. Imagine say nipa ye kuni bana dia adwene woni tim. Nipa ye kuni nua ba na say nua be man na say na down for dia adwene na be tim if they belong to a different tribe. Mr. President, please. Per my understanding and my studies, curfew na the course of northern region, intimate solve situation. Because curfew, Rollins implement TB, anyeye, Kufo implement TB, anyeye, Atamils implement TB, anyeye, your president, your first administration, we implemented curfew, and fa. And now the Danko Kufa the neighbor me the curfew koi and fa, or second term curfew, Mr. Mfa. No my yempe amicable solutions. You who at the crop potting, echo so north widen to Kwaba. As it seems to Kwana Boba South no, Boba. Wow, me and I will be teaming. Why be anything with them in Fahon? We do so because 2 near to Bob Papa and I could dino. Say to find Chenas and come in and Amenamwa and Kikume. So we need to discuss all these kind of things as people. Now, if the young Puma see baby who say in seminary course on the dear potting at this answer on air course. Because me take her in my horse me. Because Madame for being kuna in Kebahame. I know a man who free me krum to Chimana. He went to Echo to about the krum. So I travel where I started Yokuno. It was not somewhere. Is it in Savannah region or something like that? Yokuno, I know him very well because time behind me Bagana, we used to discuss with him. We do politics together. Yokuno free before elections. No, one to Abanakurebi. Yokuno. And behind the scene, maybe people are not saying the number of Nipas casualties are the way affected more. One was a freedom up before Drew South. So, Mama, and we tribal war in Ghana, and the problem about Ghana. And I'm saying, say, the tribal difference between the Ashantis and the Bonos on the Senate. So, one win year, it will lead to something like this. We are Ghana near, and 70 people have sometimes we need to take our political lenses away. They in discussing Ghana, you won't say Ghana, they may be because of my say, nya, in because your nyan are the problem. Anyway, this is the debate with Munufi. So, we can start this kind of debate. Na afide ya say debate no ebetime akoso ama bibia ayeya ebetime ede ayensa ti yenko yenim. All right. Enti Attorney General emeti asese e kai se chama Wontumi na se chi chama Wontumi na o yedede ademenya Ghana ni biem jo mama tata me den ba chi ti chama Wontumi wa ha
menya Ghana ni biem e pito se de one win ya president nti menya Ghana ni biem Ghana for Musorio Ghana for Musorio and before you know Musorio and before you know Musorio I am Munti and Mahama MC the vice president da me madam board so da me my DCO da me my minister da I chairman na media and I want me campaign in mame I'm me campaign in mame party and I'm here Juma 2013 we just about the boom Juma Mubaye, my topping my human, my count to pa be didier was one. Me, my count to club be didier was no. Cemetery, my school fees, a club higher thing. What I say, most of them won't start to my count to show, and Nasabe, me,
it's according to Chama Wontumi no. His understanding is a che no, a John Mama, and a channel. So he decided to call the people of NPP, say, oh, Mama, no more defending no. Because now being say your mama and a channel. But Attorney General said there it has nothing to do with your mama. A near ma why in the society no and ama echo. Until Attorney General say a charge Chama Wontumi. But your Attorney General.
A report on the docket for the oral cases, including the mathematical sets, the All Africa Games, and the drip scandals are being prepared by the National Investigation Bureau for my attention. I expect to receive that investigative report in a few weeks for work to begin on filing charges in court. The Economic and Organized Crime Office has completed investigations in respect of Wontumi, Chairman Wontumi, and the former National Buffer Stock Company CEO, Mr. Abdul Wahab Hanan, and their accomplices. The results of both investigations will be announced very soon. The police CID have also completed a docket on the Akunta mining case and submitted same to my office. We have prepared charges and sent them back to the police CID for the suspects to be formally charged before their arraignment in court in the coming day.
All right, the Attorney General say, "Omaye chama Wontumi ho dwuma wie." Nti very soon no, the chama Wontumi eba be court. Na chama Wontumi toro no di chire Ghana for say Jomama ne tata na Attorney General say dabi. Chama Wontumi sef no na e dɔɔso. Nti yoku for etwe no. Na CID for so etwe no. Nti the docket na ready very soon say oto na oto say the chama Wontumi akogina court a. E ma chama Wontumi me dada o say because we are Asante regional chairman tina Jomama tata no dabi. Na me pacho so muti Attorney General here. He made reference to mathematical set being on one sem. And no, I make a mathematical set on one seven. Na po a hobom. A pacho. Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe was being education minister now. Emma Ghana a boka over 63 million Ghana cedis. A cofa mathematical set to be say, young fan got a mathematical set and from school for normal functional exams. By information about the school, no one could anywhere mathematical set no. Then sa it can be. Nti amayende da bia na po ekosia di for na e invite no na e interrogate na e say na po na nkasa e kire mo say da bia ho de okoho na according to him he believes a witch hunting ene ye no ba che yenti Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe nkasa
Allah emrani nyina sile na so Ghana ha no on di kan be ka che say edo bi ha in America ti obe start ya bi wa the Attorney General wa press conference ba ko be miensa na nan ye bechiwo a chess ye bo don ko bi chele na fa no court bi abi jahwe ma ko NIB you know ka say enu ya South Africa be national security NIB ma ko me ko national security min ka say min ko because kabimani kabi amamu no there's a day of accountability but min be say be tete be fa hu die so e wo fry afre me what the picture as it is and you said the pakro no and we said that person aban from antioda aban bien ho a sabe obetra so akom say yesu beba o ye den emi bedu obeden obeko it kutie dey say look at your car o say mo say how abo obi asum na mo anche da and also just yesterday was so ko obi asum bebo a South America so tie before who dey so na and then ma 2 minutes son o ye den on so ye den o be tie afa.
All right, so this is the debate with the Monofie. So here's a video where na po person chere say CID ni Yoko ne former BNI currently NIB before inviting no witch hunting onye boni bia na ye tata ne keke. That is what according to Napo eka na NPP for the uti omu ya omu nyina. But Attorney General Kachere say Napo is under investigation on series of issues including mathematical set onsem. Because Napo I na bien say nanko onka no kore no enchere yen. But Attorney General expose Napo say dabi mathematical set onsem no Napo ho bom. But you tie Dr. Sram say a vivid explanation about call Joy. Ko ye interview bi my Joy. Ibisa na question say e dey important na Napo nkasa ekọ Yoko ne CID na for almost every time. And also now compesa waka. But you put no the reason why Napo ekọ ho. Listen to him very carefully.
I respect, but I appreciate the demeanor of a lot of the government appointees. Once in a while, you hear that someone has been picked up or someone has been invited in the media, and then there's a whole lot of noise. But I can tell you, a large number of the persons who have been arrested, who are on bail, who are under investigation, are quiet. They will not make any noise about it. Some of them believe that the process must, the process must be followed. It's only a few who, once in a while, come in the media, and then people are massing up to go to Iyoko. But there are a lot of them who go quietly, do what they are asked to do, and leave without any noise at all.
In fact, just last 2 weeks, the running mate of the former Vice President, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe himself was...
Oh, he said this.
He announced that he's been investigated by the NIB. I mean, he said he's been going to NIB for for a while now.
Oh, okay.
And nobody knew that until he said it publicly.
Exactly.
You know about that case?
Yeah, I mean, I know about all the cases, from our office. So yes, that's so he's just confirmed what I'm saying. There are a couple of them who.
What has he been investigated for? he put it out himself. I didn't know. What was he being investigated?
A number of things, but I mean, he was a minister for energy and minister for education for the 8 years. So definitely we have projects that were undertaken during his time, and so he will definitely be answering questions in respect of that. The mathematical sets issues, those ones will fall under his ministry. But he is speaking from a position of office holder, and he has to speak to them unless you will not be prosecuted unless there is evidence that you were complicit in some.
All right. The Deputy Attorney General say, Debbie, say Napuka say a witch hunter. Priscilla, that is what Napu is insinuating, say a kind of like witch hunting. But Deputy Attorney General said, Debbie, Napu ekasa enye no kre no wakano. Na mathematical set be hun a lot of things be oha Napu ehobomu. Because the Ghana to invest say enkoto mathematical set ba could be 75 Ghana cedis. Abera mass set in Ghana on the street of Ghana no, look at 20 cedis close bita. It means that there was something fishy about it. Mass set and so a can also ama. So all those kind of things in I say, oh, we NPP ni. Now who say the chama Wontumi any Napu as a lie kujina quarter and man in young. Because when you listen to the Attorney General very carefully, he made mention of chama Wontumi and then some mathematical sets. So those two no, and they say a ho. Ni who say a dear potting and a mathematical set no, because Ghana invested a whole lot of money inside the manema we say. And so you who be at the money in a fire. And then the post leadership, that was the same time when Napu edit teacher for a terminal. Say teacher for him yansa now Obia wa bon and they could training college, those kind of things. At that same time he was the Minister of Education. It's very funny. So sometimes when we hand over political power to some people, like they only come and then insult the masses. Because who's in your position every until we do the chibi and the and how on earth na Ghana bit me invest over 63.9 or so million Ghana cedis in Fankoto Marset. Na company na Ekoto Marset and so on. Ya summon over $3.6 million tax waiver. Company based on a mathematical set na ba na nasanti bidi to yere. And the front is a company no. You what they for what dream we say. Na nasanti bidi to yere in Nigeria ni. And your company Ekoto Marset Ghana. Na parliament etimi amomo tax waiver over $3.6 million. Marset no so your purchase security over 60 million Ghana cedis worth of marset. O compute here na ba could be about 75 Ghana cedis. If I chawa hwe me Ghana marset e ton say. Nti wa ho NPP party no. Mo kware ne ti. Sa na no mo de mine ye. Omo de mine na be ye business. Nti business no wo te wa na wa formulate o de ba na obagiska na wadi.
Jimmy for party job.
Wow. Enti ene chama Wontumi e de be court. Napo likely Attorney General said that mon Napo din, but Deputy Attorney General may be who say Napo who bon mathematical set no. Nti I wouldn't be surprised to say na Napo ko gina court. I wouldn't be surprised. NPP for kakra unim information me watch say Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mu nyina akọ under investigation. Mama men kan say amuna bia na obi antiase. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia me dey under investigation but mo ye boko na omoko. It is a utri Deputy Attorney General or say chama Wontumi e frɛ na no we didi no ye obi mu NPP mu a ye frɛ mo kwa na omo mmowa. Or say some people go secretly. Then surprisingly now, Deputy Attorney General Saka Chere say, hey, NPP for na na wo mo ho pian. Also do to wa na kwabana na fa hye na motom, na oba na oba expose ni yonko. Nti NPP for na nkasa NSI wo mo ho pian. Kwa na okoka akwa we say no ti wo no sika kwa na wa wi a, no say mo nkotwe no mo party for na yesa adwuma no.
Jimmy for party job. Who share?
What's your NPP adan?
Jimmy for party.
Jimmy for party ni dia no nya den dodo.
Oh. Me jina president Kufu Ado ni kwa sana be kala.
Na Jimmy for party na wo Bulgaria won so ya NPP ni no.
Oh na say me resume Jimmy.
All right, in Bulgaria, say we NPP near where Jimmy Don't see Bulgaria also can NPP one also where Jimmy. But you will be some question me nyama because Bulgaria and Eka. May I did not say any single thing. Me can't see me I Bulgaria and Eka. Anyway, young Quayanim. Yem free Napone chama Wontumi I don't mukojina call because Attorney General Mayata as a Kianeke, Zangrove way ever from. Recently, Ashanti Regional Minister Kamoka Papai, ye born dino. I say, wabe dine bosom anaka kaibi wa Asante Memoa amanfu suruno. Nanse Poyando ebe sopa Ashanti Regional Minister say papa no sorry or TikTok. According to Poyando, if I told him here's a video, we say someone in Poyando. According say, or say can be tell us in it is a kusi, no. If I just ni or they can say can be tell us in it is a kusi.
Supreme Court. Adia omoyema Kevin Taylor no. Oheba miti se kusi.
Uti ti se de.
Mi bisao. Miti esekusie.
Debbie.
Kevin Taylor se miti se kusie. Ama sesia me mago school. Just say papa ti se kusie. Adia
Kevin Taylor. So there's some about Poyando say Ashanti Regional Minister sorry TikTok enote. Me name say TikTok no say you feel say din Poyando ya oka say Kevin Taylor say miti se kusie in the account. Or say Ashanti Regional Minister sorry or TikTok. Na yankanchi Ashanti Regional Minister ne say TikTok ho no omfi ho na honko boyjuma ba juti Ashanti Regional NPP community an we fene ayibo bukala Ashanti Region ba juti di
we dey be one go every on country the regional minister no TikTok so no say omfi ho one be one fan ko share dem untu ne fo omfi TikTok no so no nya adwuma because who ko adujama school feeding ho sembasa Ukwa afida kwa bre southward. DC office ya cheja to President Fred Minister so when you don't TikTok what is one. That is the problem. That is the problem. And you minister you do what TikTok so. What else in Nigeria juma? Yeah boy ya bro for school feed the whole sema basa. What you say? Now what TikTok so now. What's wrestling? And I like you. And then Italian and
I go with I say the way he's seriously talking about TikTok. So on free TikTok, on can on free no yes or TikTok. I said TikTok ni free be any party. Well, Poyando there sometimes and he's very funny man. Sometimes me hear the videos na mesre. Why not is a comedian? But some of the things he makes mention of makes a bit of sense. But just when the name I see Mr. Ebuna. Now we have a casa ko I say we Jimmy and I say bisa. But men casa we Jimmy there. Kevin Taylor was a call with Tissekusi. Now, Opa, or Brapanyi, and you now can't say the Tissekusi, eh? Now, when Ashanti Regional Minister say, hey, what TikTok must mean your day, mean for and then for you know. And Yadia may trimity mean for that because Ashanti Regional Minister said TikTok, Emma vote or NDC or Ashanti region. Ghana, you know, social media play an active role. So it's becoming an NPP for him, social media, and play a role. Until response Ashanti Regional Minister and Kasa, Edaman, we are, and they made their toss of more.
I was appointed Madamasi, and Medemo Kono, as I'm back open and Dijamo say a campaign nearby platform you soon ye, any a ye boo or minus so about platform you ye. And to be a one person about platform you see, no. Time one, I'm a more cosono. A do campaign, I'm a moma. We campaign minimum humanity. It's a day that go by the obviously being Yamwa. Na minko na mko ya menyema campaign time da saba nti mesramo we are going nowhere in the social media for e mon sorry o eye munti ana MPP for na ye me say campaign time ba ha ne mo be ye campaign amamu na ba ne ye ne mu bu man ne de omsi minya ni nyamo na omo no ntimi na kwan fa adwenfi me hwehwe timamufu tim ye free and ye free achna na kopo ohiramo bibia obeti bia no from time to time me ba ha menum bedin kita ho. You let me know, then I also let the president know, then we take action. And no one ever told you, Jumano. The authority will be hard, or you share the day.
All right, the Ashanti Regional Minister Asre Poyando, known as I. Samunya was some social media and the many here. According to him, the social media and Otanaye campaigns and Nakwaye minister. Now we not the same social media now as a adan kakai ehunu na Poyando and NPP for. Before the election, no, there was a researcher EAB, a Global Info Analytics EAB, a lot of agencies, I believe some EAB, who say majority of Ghanaian voters currently no, it was social media, especially the youth. The kind of youth, those between the ages of 18 and maybe 40 years or 45 years, no, predominantly no, social media no be hiding the Juma. And the traditional radio no, and said that any effective kind of crazy. Any person is around a pass. We had Juma banker was also radio now. But obi or a banker, obi or a taxi driver, or obi or control through at every point in time, a funny phone, a flip it. But it's becoming a YouTube, net TikTok, the most vibrant social media platforms. Juma. Now it is Facebook recently the man who say Facebook echo from Kakra. And I will be very happy. Say we get a regional minister. He's very active and vibrant on social media every day or explaining government policies, any programs that Onwankas also implementing in his own region to the people that Polyando most of Wontumi that. Because he believes that continue Wontumi radio, if he's a whole bit me a Jimmy, I'm will be a winner. But Polyando, social media plays an active role in our society. The youth and I already said they are always on social media watching things. And there will be a table which are all train economy on guitar radio. Into social media and Filipino phone. That is where they get all the information. And you see a young minister who is very active on these social media platforms. 38% of NPP nyaya and it was because of some reasons. Because now Wontumi TV, ni Wontumi radio, so no DJ Mama Tem, no Jimmy, no Yesi, na Poyando, Moti, no Jimmy, no. Now Dr. Frank Amakwanum at social media and also explaining, educating the masses. Peter, that's true, because that is a style. Poyando, they are say, because I see because Asante region be an Aquano can't be. The one following these days, I say Jimmy Timby because of Asante region be an Aquano, the D won't be. And that is something I don't know why he's by himself. And maybe I know who say concert party or maybe he has actually seen it, but I say he will not do anything about it because Poyando say Uswinyanza kakara no omo who say ononso oyenipa na yamfana Jimmy sa because papa me who say social media no on tiase because Poyando the way a man for twetwe comedian no a social media in amount for ANS animal. But he has not learned any lessons from it. As who says social media is playing an active role. Kenneth David Medase. Minia. I are there. Medase. Never to make me Dini William Monufia Makona. This is the debate with the Monufi and Tino. Say never that can now hear me me pacho. Take your time because I don't actually insult. I just present data. Now any facts. And so you can subscribe to the channel. Don't take your time to subscribe. I used to stream 1 hour almost every blessed day. It's a time no home but and then I say me late maybe I might not go that one hour now until maybe it be no. Mama Maswati. It's a again Juma. It's a Asante regional minister. The NPP for ne Poyando man moto on social media no. People push you walk off. I'm going to see uti kusi. Francisca, that is true because omunim what the social media actually does for people in modern days because and there are some simple and young guys on YouTube seems to be competing with the larger radio stations in Ghana, PCFM, Adom, My Joy, those kind of things. Okay, YouTuber, you find very, very simple people the way they communicate on social media and they get followers, and it's even becoming more powerful than the traditional media. No, the person they call Wontumi TV and I say those kind of things. And then the Polyando needs to understand say a near point in Wontumi, a traditional television, a traditional radio station, not a YouTuber, almost a streaming there. It means that they also have some audience there, and that is something he needs to understand. But if they are not ready to learn, then how. Poyando is far from stupid, in my opinion. It's all certain to be relevant. And okay, because he's just playing. I say, according to Jimmy, he does too much. In the same time, he needs to learn some things. All right, I was for Yanko and Midi, any William Munufi Amakona. This is the debate with the Munufi live on YouTube. Medase, Francisca. But you Kai Osonomame. Mami Tukono. Former Chief Justice, and then me say Mammy and Yadi over beam, or Chief Justice, and you're suspending the debate, and Yadi over beam. Estate, court to say, no, on Tiasie. Apem swama and then my media could do a course court in a seminar high court or with a seminar free high court. Apem could do Supreme Court, Yapamo, or send about high court, Yapamno, a court Supreme Court, Yapamno, or send about Ghana High Court. On exhausted Ghana court system in ye, or man seminars were a course court. Na a hodi okuduru yene de nim guasia ma amene gudu ho se ono akusi Ghana $10 million say yine ye no Ghana nsan money say sika no. Na Dr. Tony Edu say in his opinion, maame no, as a chief justice said, the man no appointment no might be fake. Unqualified and Kobe attorney general in the first instance. The Dr. Tony Edu added a lot of explanations about pointy who actually said maame no as a Ghana marano unimu. Pacho intie Dr. Tony Edu in this particular audio.
Like I said, I'll conclude on this because I recall vividly my producer was just drawing my attention that he said I was supposed to get in touch with you on this, but it's a matter that's still in the public domain. The CJ's new venture, she's moved to the ECOWAS court, seeking the same thing, justice, that they should give her $10 million among.
Doesn't he know that international jurisdiction recognizes the sovereign of independent members of a treaty, especially one that deals with human rights, that you must exhaust local remedies before you go over your country's border to seek or remedy elsewhere. And she herself has filed processes in court which haven't come to an end. And then you go and pile up another one at the international level. The ECOWAS court will not tolerate this kind of behavior because exhausting your local remedies is a cardinal principle of the court. And it is also contained in traditional international law. This is not just ECOWAS being characterized by it. If there is going to be an exception, it should be shown by evidence that local remedy is not available or is unwilling to deal with your case. But you keep filing processes and you keep losing. You see, what she is doing is that she is aware that she may lose her job. And therefore, she won't go quietly. She wants to take Ghana down with it. If that is the case, then she wasn't even good as a Chief Justice. Assuming that she wins these cases and get her post back, how is she going to relate to the executive? Only president, Betra Adwangoma Swana. You know why we make this bro about Adwa? Because such a little animal and the skin cannot take more than two people, one person. Eh? She must exhaust local remedies first. And some of her defenses, they are so far-fetched. Bad law. I don't understand. In the first response before the prima facie case was established, she took on the defense of res judicata, that Professor Azar was the one who petitioned first, and that case has been disposed of. But the doctrine of res judicata says that when an initial issue has been taken through procedure to the point of finality, the person cannot be tried for the same offense. Professor Asari's petition was not carried to finality. It did not even pass the hurdle of prima facie. Akufo-Addo considered it as unmeritorious. So he did not even bother to institute a committee, the Judicial Committee of 5. It died halfway, which means the point of finality of proceedings had not been reached. So you still cannot use res judicata as your defense. All these are so obvious. Law 101. And you, a woman who has practiced law for more than 20 years, cannot see through it. This appointment was even a mistake from the beginning, because she doesn't appear to know the law.
She doesn't appear to know the law.
Yes. Otherwise, why this case at ECOWAS? What does he want ECOWAS to do? Overlook the principle of exhaustion of local remedies and deal with your case?
But you also talked about the fact that she's taken this to, I think, the Supreme Court, and
yes,
she lost the case. So at least you could say that I've been to the highest.
She filed a writ for review. A review at the High Court. So she's still pursuing local remedy. And your local remedy hasn't come to an end, and you go to an international court.
But there also suggests that that's not necessarily a requirement, that you can still file if you're still pursuing some here.
In very exceptional cases, where the local court has declined jurisdiction, then you can go to the international court. Or when you've got a judgment that you think is not fair to you. It's just like taking a case from the High Court to the Appeals Court and from the Appeal Court to the Supreme Court.
All right. Anyway, so Dr. Tony Edu say, what's your Tony Edu here? Or say I say, I'm an appointment, the president appointing initially, no. It makes sense because it seems to say, which okay, me took on very clear. It seems that she doesn't even understand the law. As a Ghana law, and on Ginny, and I say, she doesn't even know. Because what they are saying, Ghana court and Castle ye. No one pay exactly the same court, no. They are called ECOWAS court. As a why be say, Uku Ghana, and Nimas says, Wono, Oko they are the whole country is on a more form. The whole Chief Justice decides to disgrace her country internationally. In the 28 Bisa say, let's assume without admitting say, Oko and ECOWAS court in Abuyama so with them. Yes, I'm marrying state you. But how are you going to work with the executive? Ghana for now a true petition Kuraka say but how are you going to work with the Ghanaians? Oh, these basic questions now. So we get him when you know she and Uncle Webby say, fight or fight. Are you fighting for yourself or fighting for Ghana? Imagine say a whole Chief Justice up Ghana, country in the international court, ECOWAS court, or no could sue Ghana for $10 million every Ghana. So a German now and a second and now and as a day. It is any people we now got till Germany that punchable and Obaja and as a one. These are the kind of questions that Dr. Tony Edu Ebisa. But I think that for me, a very serious questions I say again in Ebisa because sometimes we don't need to doubt the integrity of people yɛabɔ wɔn sɛ justice of Supreme Court, especially sɛ wobɛyɛ Chief Justice. Ghana judiciary no nyinaa wɔn na ɔdaa no. Na sɛ it becomes sɛ wo mmara no ankasa no wokɔ a wongye nni a anaa wonnim mmara no a, say we have a problem as a society. That is what Dr. Tony Edu is trying to say here. Do you have trust in Yemami Tokono? Do you have trust in her? Or do you doubt her? But me, I'm telling you, I doubt her because I say, oh yeah, mambo phobi or me so. That is how I understand her or I see her. I say, oh yeah, mambo pho, because she doesn't even believe in Ghana. Because then some na say ya do so bebre o de go court o de for one can say no unya exhaust the local court system no enwie no pagya the international court ECOWAS say enko kan asem ma minim asem o pese ECOWAS for enko kan. Sometimes you know we need to question this kind of people. Say maami we pa na eja Ghana nyina share ne nsa say onumum na nhwe ma Ghana tentene ne mra Ghana, then we have a problem. This is the debate. You into debate in so. I like to say things like this. Now, if now we are Ghana who say we need to reset the society. Send His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Basso reset Ghana. No, we need to allow him the space to reset the country because there are a lot of things in our society are wrongs or rots. We need to kick them out. I see a wipe through near new things ever. About corruption. Look at how former appointees and NPP before they were so corrupt to say they didn't even care how they were looting the resources of the state because they had the backing of a whole chief justice. And then we had the whole presidency. And they decided to come and see the resources of the country. Be this another Asante be there to yere. And the confront that mathematical set na one korama me another costing one 75 Ghana cedis. This could this can enough for nothing. As a country, we need to be checking all these kind of people. Now if you who send ya the minor, ebe fast because ya when ya minor, ebe enye. Yeah, William Cap. Sometimes I even doubt say I know not on you say he sees my minister as a Ghana mrano kwa no nim mrano. How did we even end up appointing such a character to become the Chief Justice of our nation? Until your question is right, William Cap. She seems not to understand Ghana's constitution. And I say, unim, but rather than our political lens, we see constitution it here say, and we can feel the same moment the console. That is how I see here sometimes. And this year, there were a lot of all these kind of people also in our society. Here. Sana omunyina omasheshe ntare no amade nam be the message you aba osin di abronye osin you are not a Ghanaian, you have your interest in NDC, you are preaching NDC to be the honest people. So funny. If you are listening to what we are saying here abronye, you will have understand say we mind bapa. As you will local court or now can Ghana court in here, you don't take it to ECOWAS. Say you could still Ghana kwa Ghana. That is what we are saying here. So we are not talking about NDC or NPP here. We are talking about Ghana. Ntiabronye, take your time and go back and listen to things we are saying. Isn't it true? Say Ghana, NDC kakwasi ngoto mathematical set about 75 Ghana cedis. One. Ama set no kokoramba anasede. Ntabronye, according to you, no yenyama ma set no that you can enshingu. Isn't it true? The company now Ghana man a contract over 60 million Ghana cedis on cover set man. A buying SMI tax waiver over $3.6 million. And these are basic questions that I don't even need to explain to you because answer I won't trouble for a moment there. I know so you know how to read and write. So just do your own research. Do your own research. Teacher, abronye di na o twabole no ho. Abronye ne dey say, ni se baby abronye be free baby ade wa onim style e free abronye however. Nti nipa no so efe na bro nya ne de nyame na meka na asem because he seems say sama ye kana onye na adwen so wotie na wape aba bi afiri mu. Some people just come on the shows or watch videos without even listening to seminar or kind of. But the moment of better say NDC abom pe na say was minti asema kwa we kan. Ko mpeso biti nya asem. That is very bad of us. Yeah, Ghana for your school. You know trade making kind of day. If I do my research, then I come to present facts and issue ha also no TB because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can't ask him which also we have to use facts and data. Mahmoud Bawumia can't
Data brings light. People who don't like light don't like data. So when you see a politician trying to talk, you just say, bring the data to support what you are saying. And let us talk.
All right, so something like that anyway. GTC, I think straight talk with Munufi suits your program. You say it as it is. Well, and yeah, just a message, but I think say I want to spark a debate. Say we NPP, we NDC, you can just jump on the show and then we all do the discussion together. To say we need to give him education because some of them, they lack the proper education because some people go to Abronyes Ohia TV and also Keteche Free channel. So now they have a particular thing that they want to hear. It is Oba as one can ask them na ayen as a distorting as soon as why but this is where we present data and facts. That is what I have been doing. Maybe they just pick an issue and then they start to talk because they behave like Senabashiru and they are comedians and then they start to talk. Okay, the Jeffrey family behave like Bawumia, they just jump and then become like comedians. Because I know a video here me chirewa Bawumia kujina bono it ko kan say na ban ache etua teacher training allowance nurse ni abaya bisa and say no ko school 2.5 years onye bi da. Then the answer Mahmoud Bawumia the man is okwa akra obi bisa finance minister. The reason why they've not paid him. This is data. This is facts. So I did not mind any words in his mouth. And some no I can any answer any beside no what the mind is what I'm saying here. And Abronye, when you come on this particular channel, be ready to listen. Ma'am Fawan Kasawa Ma'am put 2 questions be our dream. Now you come in, that is the answers you are looking for. No, this particular channel, that is not how I do it. Be ready to come and listen. Now TV, make your own informed decisions based on things I say. Enti and then me the best you help with for me the best you na afedi yam ya adoma ochina I might be back na afedi ya be kasa e dey Ghana adwuma because Ghana and say no say ya na a dozen so we need to be doing this kakra say be ya obi be hu say nsem na ye kana some of them are serious because yanka nsem na ye serious and chelti mamuni na ipadodo na entinsem na ekoso manum no se na medical kan jandam no adoso society nim sa ma baba yet say o kan ko na somebody think to say bia umum na wudi torture no or something like that. But we need to take our time and then explain things to people not ubia who say asama ye kan no eno mum na ye asem no kre you need to listen eno mum ene be boy as of mine because ya nyene man say and maybe even a problem as a society. And that is something I always say. You beat me at the bank some of these notions in every day. And then kakran na ubia who say ampa BBB ekoso ewomanum. And the facts I present is after every election, and there are some things that happen in our society. I believe say we need to check all these kind of things. It been a tribal war. It usually happens after every elections. It been a jandam. It happens after every elections. After every elections, biano, the nipa bimu eco court. I usually know say nipa de mo court no they seem to be becoming our political opponents. That was something I wanted to talk about today but anyway, we hear how Attorney General ways so then because after every elections biano, the opponents no court. Then they also after every election says a witch hunting any by ends up say it didn't for Bianco can go to prison. And that has been the problem now. Koira Tamils and phobia uncle John Mama who put the papa be on the coy, good for them who the papa be or said that in the coy, So the second coming of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama there. Let's see. In the Papa Bible call to there. That is something we are gonna see. Nti midawase. So unya amre na ode metena medi any William Monufi amankona. This is the debate with Monufi. Nyankopon ya otoma. You hear from me tomorrow. Sometimes I also do post normal videos on my channel. Nti bio na my video na me the videos atoto because sometimes day in day out it's 70 biba. Bio we need to give you prompt updates. So that is how I'm doing. Nti bio you should check on my channel. Na Mr. WhatsApp number na so da honso na I think say nipa dodo na ya de mutimi e contact me kama pa me da obi a mutimi contact me bia ase. But yeah, na sometimes no bi musu di mate Mr. ya monto mo kakra mame na afi de yenye Ghana adwuma ti me da obi bia ase. Yankopon ene wontena ba bia hwe me bia no. Bye bye.
Release this Black Prophet alongside Ras Cuckoo.
Aye. Cuckoo. Cascades on it.
Me my Madagana, Africa na mi free Madagana. Mi pe wo musu ye kama, nyami acha chedi enti to ozana. Da chichiri meye, omunti na ye praye, yenje suye, enye sadati e bese yo. Red, gold and green, me who ana man feel. Love is the key. Love one another, that's the thing. Ghana na mi free, me mine. Ghana na me do, me mine. Me need baby ako, me mine. Me mine again.